quick little update on El Salvador. Look, El Salvador is an interesting one because all the news that it had no real tangible impact on the movement on the price of Bitcoin. Yes, there's a lot of psychology in Bitcoin at the moment in terms of the investments, but you know what? There is yet to be a lot more work to be done on Bitcoin, on the take-up of Bitcoin for El Salvador. So it's really too early to predict what El Salvador's Bitcoin project will do to the country. There are obvious risks as well, but we can learn a lot from the overwhelming praise the move has received from the Bitcoin influencers, like, you know, a bunch of politicians around the Latin America regions. But the thing is, at the moment, El Salvador is not exactly the shining example of human freedom and financial inclusivity. That's the problem. And you know what? Bukele is not really the hero that we are looking for in Bitcoin. That's been evident because he's making all these moves, making all these tweets. But what's happened to the price of Bitcoin? Nothing. I mean, it does its own thing. In fact, it was supposed to be bullish, but it's not. It's a spark of an uptake. It's a spark of a interesting mass adoption. But you know what? Overall, this isn't something that's going to really destroy the market or really make the market in that sense. So El Salvador's slide into authoritarianism is well documented, and it's kind of true because, you know, Bukele, what he's done, he's gone and fired all the justices so that he can have his way in terms of getting Bitcoin accepted as a legal tender. But it's worth revisiting the country's track record now that the Central American nation is front and center on the Bitcoin stage. So let's have a look at the country itself. Political culture scores 3.75 out of 10. Okay, functioning of the government, similarly low score of 4.29. Civil liberties came in at 6.18. And in fact, no other Latin country fell further towards authoritarianism in 2020 than El Salvador did. And look, in that sense, Bukele was supposed to be the guy that actually ended corruption and brought some peace and good function to El Salvador. But yeah, and he's making these really interesting moves. And so the market and the general internet population is trying to make sense of what this is happening. And I think the verdict is real. It's interesting, it's a big deal, and it's definitely setting us course forward. It sounds nice, but it's a bit too early for any proper moves to occur. So IMF, International Monetary Fund, gave a quick buzz to the brother Bukele, and they just want to have a quick chat. They think that there needs to be more framework involved. Yes, blah-de-da, a lot of regulation involved. But you know what? I think this is healthy, that they do have some external intervention into the move that they're doing for them to do this right. And when it's done right, then maybe the prices will move around. But you know what? It's really good to actually have information around what is happening, especially in these low socioeconomic regions, because, you know, they can move a lot more faster than more established nations. You know, they're more nimble. I mean, just think about how quickly this has happened. He says, oh, let's think about it. And then like 2 days later, boom, a bill is passed. And then literally in the same day, he's building a freaking mine out of a volcano to mine Bitcoins, which is extremely fast. So, you know, if this is setting a course for these, you know, smaller nations, then, you know, maybe there's something that other countries can begin to think about. And it's definitely the truth. Since the tweet, you know, these guys are coming under the spotlight and more countries are considering this as an option, especially those, you know, Latin American countries with slightly low socioeconomic statuses. So IMF spokesperson Gary Rice said, adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender raises a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues that require very careful analysis. Anyone could have said that. It's a very politically correct statement. But you know what? They're going to meet with Bukele to discuss the Bitcoin law. And, you know, I'm glad they're doing it. You know, better do it right than do it wrongly or never do it. So let's keep an eye on this El Salvador, and I expect some good stuff to come out of there. Cool. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you go follow my social channels. Make sure you go like this video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can stay updated multiple times in a day. Crypto news. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.